It's another day of Vloggoween, and that means it's another day for a deep clean. Yep, and I've got Alyssa helping me today, thank goodness, because I wasn't looking forward to doing the downstairs on my own. Once again, this is just a deep clean, a tidy and organised. It is not redecorating. We're going to be getting to the decorating part next year. For now, it's cleaning, it's organising, and yes, me and Alyssa did get a tad carried away, and we did start decorating for Halloween a little bit, before we should have done. We're supposed to do that all in one go. We just put a few little bits out. We did get a little bit bored of cleaning, and we put a few little bits out. Alyssa is also currently suffering from some sort of nasty cold, which apparently seems to be doing the rounds at work. So we kind of started late and lost faith pretty quick. Which, let's face it, is just, me all over really, isn't it? Start one project, halfway through, switch to another project, lose interest in both projects almost instantaneously, and then give up on the whole lot and go back to bed. Thankfully, though, Alyssa didn't let me give up on this, and I didn't let Alyssa give up, and we just sort of powered through with a minor mini break halfway through. So we got there in the end. We did get there in the end, let me tell you, but it was a hard little slog to get going. Well, actually, getting going wasn't the problem. It was keeping going, which is always the problem, as I said before. So as I've said with the other videos, we are going to be decorating next year. I'm looking forward to that. Very, very, very excited for next year's decorating. And I have been talking you through a little bit of our plans for each room as we go through them. So with this deep clean and organise and declutter, let's go through a little bit of what's going to be going on in this room. The whole colour scheme of the house is going to be taupe, apart from the bedrooms. I think the bedrooms we can afford a bit more of a personal touch, because obviously, I think each room should be a little bit more personal to whoever's in it. So this room, we are going to be finally getting rid of the green, cream and gold theme. It's served us well for quite a long time, and it has been one of my favourite rooms in the house, but I'm now kind of feeling it's done its time. I'm ready for a change. I've kind of outgrown this. It doesn't look good anymore. I'm just not liking it anymore. And it's been this way for many, many years. I can't even remember when we actually did the room this colour, but it's been this colour for as long as I can remember now. I think at one point it was black and purple, but only for a short period. Anyway, we are going taupe, a nice warm taupe in here as well. That's going to be the colour throughout. I'm in and ahhing between getting a nice beige carpet throughout or sticking with the grey. I mean, personally, I'm leaning a bit more towards the grey because obviously with people traipsing in and out and the dog and all that, it just makes more sense to have a darker colour carpet. However, I am thinking about just getting like carpet runners. So I can still have a beige carpet, but I can have carpet runners that are going to stop muck being everywhere. I'm not 100% sure. Beige would be the one I would prefer, or like a brownie colour. My sister's carpet actually is kind of the vibe I'm going for. I really, really, really like that colour. She's got kind of a dark browny beigey colour, and it's been down a while, and hers isn't looking too awful for the test of time. So I'm thinking that colour. Either way, there's going to be a new carpet going in because the one we've got is just ugh. And it needs fitting professionally because I am no professional carpet layer and I want it looking blooming nice. So there's a nice thick underlay, nice thick carpet, it's fitted by a professional. I am going to get new tiles for the fireplace, so I'm going to replace those. It's going to be, like I say, taupe in here. I hope I haven't said teal too many times because it's not going to be teal, it's going to be taupe. But I get them confused all the time. There is going to be a lovely pelmet above the curtains. I don't care. I know everyone's like, oh my God, they went out in the 80s and 90s. I don't care. I love a pelmet. I want a pelmet. I'm getting a pelmet back. We're going to have nice net curtains, and people have been advising me against the Roman blinds because obviously they are a pain in the bottom to clean, and they are also like dust magnets. But however, I find the roller blinds are a right nightmare to clean. I don't like cleaning them. Obviously I understand how to clean them. You just get a wet cloth sponge and wipe them off, I get that, but I don't know. They're just one thing I don't clean. So like I say, I want the thicker wooden Roman blinds. I know they're dust magnets. They're just as a pain in the bottom as the other ones. But the wooden magnets. The wooden dust magnets. The wooden Roman blinds are going to be thicker, which will make dusting them a heck of a lot easier. I know it's weird to say I'm going to have net curtains and blinds and curtains. That seems like an awful lot of fuss at the window, and I kind of agree. But I would like during the winter to be able to shut out as much cold as I can. Oh, this is where Alyssa knocked her flipping Coke on the floor. And I was like, have a look at it, Craig. And he's like, yeah, look, the mess she made. She leaves half-empty cups everywhere and they just get knocked down and make a mess. But yeah, anyway, I know it's going to be a bit crowded at the window, but I just like the thought of having the blinds up and people still not be able to see it and the way it diffuses the light. But I'd like to be able to shut out all the light properly. But I do think it's a bit excessive, so maybe I'll rethink that. I don't know. These are all just plans in my heads. In my heads? Well, probably, yeah. I mean, I know what I'm like. I probably do have two. I'm that confused all the time. So, carpet, can't choose. Window dressings, can't choose. Colour of the room, yep, that's fine. Taupe, not teal. There is going to be a change of the shelving. I want beautiful bookshelves in these like alcovey bits. I might put them in myself like I have done here, or I might just buy bookshelf units to go in there. Can't decide whether I want white, black or a nice light wood. I can't choose. I'll just see what I fancy when we get there. The table is staying. I love that table. However, once we've deep cleaned this room, Alyssa sort of gets her eye in for room design and she decides to move the table to a different area of the dining room. And actually, I really like it where it is. We can still pull it out should we have more people round for dinner or what have you. But at the moment, I really like it where it is. It gives us so much more space to walk through. It opens up the room. You can see the fireplace. It just looks really good where we've put it. It also means, like I say, when we have the party, because we're doing the Halloween party, that people are going to be able to mingle in here. They're going to be able to eat food and there's going to be plenty of space for them. And I really like that idea. So, yeah, I think we will keep the room how we've done it in here once we redecorate. Redecorating this room, I'm looking at a budget. Well, I'm not even looking at a budget. I haven't even considered that yet. Where, I tell you something I have decided though, I have. Where the mirror is now, the mirror is going to be going. In fact, it's already gone. I'll let you into a little secret. It's already gone. And a clock is going to fill that space. Now, I've picked the clock I want. I just hope it's still for sale when I get round to actually purchasing it. It's a beautiful clock. As those of you who've seen my other videos will know, I'm very much a seaside-y girly. I love my seagulls. I love my driftwood. I love everything about the sea. So it's definitely going to be a sea-themed clock. Now, I'm not going full, like, nautical because I'm not really, like, the boat part of it, you know. I like the waves, the sand, the funfair, the seagulls. I like the seaside, not the sea, like the ocean itself. So it's not going to be very nautical. There's not going to be lots of knots everywhere and boats and that sort of thing. But it's going to be very driftwoody themed. It's going to be very beige, sandy sorts of colours. And that's what I'm after. That's what I'm aiming for. I may even go round the top and either get some of that sticky back plastic stuff that looks like wood grain and do the picture out at the top of the room there in like a nice sort of sandy wood colour just to sort of separate it. Because these picture owls absolutely irritate the ever-loving living out of me. And they collect dust like you'd not believe. And I know, the picture owls collect dust and I hate them. Skirting boards collect dust and I hate them. But I want pelmets and Roman blinds, both of which collect dust. So if I get rid of one and I get the others, I'm just going to end up with more dust. I know. I can hear the irony even in my own voice as I'm saying things. But do you know what? Some things I'm willing to put up with dust on and other things I'm not. See, the pelmet, I could just get up there once a month or once every quarter and just hoover across the top really quick. Bosh, it's done. Whereas cleaning the picture rails, I've got to go up the ladder, down the ladder, up the ladder, down the ladder, up the ladder, down the ladder. We did try dusting them off with the feather duster, but it's so rough up there from years and years of not being finished and dust collecting and all that jazz that you run the feather duster along top and it doesn't actually do anything. It just, yeah. So I'm thinking if I can make it a smooth surface up there, I might be able to keep them. It's all plans. And they're all rough plans as well. I'd be interested to know your thoughts on this room. Now, we are, like I say, definitely taupe, definitely kind of seaside themes more than nautical themes. I'd be interested to know, do we keep the picture rail or not keep the picture rail? If we don't keep the picture rail, I'm going to have to save up way more money because we're going to need to replaster the room. I'm thinking, do you know what? I'm thinking just get nets. I don't know. I really don't know. I like the idea of the big wooden Roman blinds. Maybe I get them for the bedrooms because then we can shut all the light out in the bedrooms and have it like really dark in the bedrooms, which is nice, especially in summer because this front part of the house gets lit up very, very early and very, very bright. And it's like, oh, good grief. So maybe I have the blinds in the bedroom just so I can shut out that extra bit of light and keep it nice in here. I don't know. Like I said, it's all plans. I do wish I'd planned a little bit better these room deep cleans though, because it took so much energy to keep just shifting stuff about so I could clean underneath it and then put it back. Some of the stuff I have to shift and put back because obviously it lives there, I can't just move the books to another place and declutter. I have to move them, dust under them, put them back in order, and the same for Dell's ornaments and things like that. But the problem is that I can't just shift all of the stuff out of one room into the other room, deep clean it, and then shift it back once I finish deep cleaning. We just don't have the space. This is a very, very, very small house. Well, I say it's a very, very small house. It's a 3-bedroom house. But it's a 3-bedroom house that used to only be a 2 up, 2 down. It really doesn't have the room for 4 people that are living in it. It should only have 2 bedrooms upstairs. And I think one, if it's a 2 up, 2 down, technically it should have the bathroom upstairs as well. But when this house was originally built, I don't think they even had like baths inside. I think they used to use a tin bath in front of the fire. There was definitely outside toilets because we still have the outside toilet in. So, I mean, maybe it could have been a 2 up, 2 down, and upstairs was 1 bed, 1 bath, and downstairs was sort of, I don't know, living room and dining room, or living room and kitchen, actually. That's what it was, living room and kitchen downstairs, and upstairs would have been 1 bed, 1 bath. So it was probably literally only designed to keep like 1 couple in and maybe a baby until the baby grew old enough to like need a room of its own, and then they would have moved on. So these houses are very, very, very small, and they've had extensions added on over the years to make them a bit bigger, but we still don't have the room to take everything out, pop it in the other room, and then fetch it all back in. Plus, I'm very conscious of the fact that the only time realistically me and Alyssa have got to film is after work when Dell's at work. So we've got between the hours of like 4 and 6 to get this deep clean done. If I was to cart everything into the other room, that would lose us a lot of time. It would also mean that Dell would come home from work and would have nowhere to sit, nowhere to walk through, nowhere to cook dinner or anything like that. So he wouldn't, although he wouldn't necessarily be grumpy, he would be like, there's nowhere to go. He'd be overwhelmed as much as we were. So we did just have to keep shifting stuff about and trying to figure out where to put things so we could clean. So it really wasn't as satisfying as I thought it was going to be. When it comes to the big redecoration next year of each of the rooms, though, I think what I'm going to do is move the dining room furniture, like everything, take it all out, take everything down, and I'm going to put it in storage. And then I'll be able to do the whole room without worrying and fussing, and it won't affect the rest of the house. That can all keep running as normal. And then when we do the living room, I can move the living room furniture into this dining room and we can decorate in there. And then once we're done, I can move it all back in and it will be brilliant. I mean, does anyone, please tell me other people have this problem. Like, where do you put the stuff when you're doing deep cleans, when you're doing redecoration? Because this was just a nightmare. I didn't know what to do with any of it. Alyssa was suggesting stack it and put it on its side. I was like, I don't know what to do. If we stack it and put it on its side, it will fall down and we've got to put it back for dinner and all this. It got really old really fast. And like I said, Alyssa's suffering with some sort of lurgy, so she's not feeling 100%. She just sort of stood there like, don't feel very well. She was just looking forward to getting the carpet shampoo out and giving the carpet a good clean, which again wasn't as much fun as we anticipated it being, because for some reason the carpet shampoo wasn't working properly. So we had to lose vital time figuring out how to fix that and sort that out. Ugh. It got very old very quick. Now, behind this unit that we're about to pull out is all Dell's stuff. Now, if you don't know, Dell likes to collect cars, toy cars mainly. And he collects most toys, but toy cars are his thing. And he likes to sort of, I don't know, sell them on eBay. He'll buy them, break them down, sell them on eBay. And he's pretty good at that. He knows what he's doing, buying and selling on eBay. But sometimes he buys and buys and buys and then just holds on. So all this behind here is literally all his stuff that he's bought and wanted to sell on eBay. He makes a little bit of money sometimes, but then he'll just go and spend it all again on bits for reselling on eBay. And I wish, like, if it was something he wanted to do, I got no problem with him doing it, but he just seems to collect them. And then you have to dust round them and figure out where to put them. And every time I clear a space as well, it seems to get filled either with my junk or his junk or Alyssa's junk. We just collect stuff. It's ridiculous. There's a clean space. Oh, I can buy some more things then to fill that space. I am trying to work on not doing that, and I'm trying to encourage him to do the same as well. Like, we've cleared the space. The idea of clearing the space is so that we have room, and we have room to put the things that we need and we want. Well, that means the toy cars. But do you know what I mean? Instead of overfilling the space, pick something that you like, pick something that you love, you've always wanted, something like that, and it goes in that space. And then you can always see it. Then you can like it and admire it, rather than, well, you know, there was a space there, so I just shoved that in it. You know, like his cars, they're all on display on those shelves. He knows they're there, he can see they're there, and there is pride at the moment. And maybe that will change over the years, and that's fine. He can re-hang some other bits. My books, I have actually gone through the books, and I've been like, I am never reading that. I don't like that. They're gone, they're gone, they're gone. Now the only books I've got are books I actually read and I actually enjoy. Will I look for more authors in the future that I might like and enjoy? Of course I will. But that doesn't mean that I have to hang on to all these books just in case one day I might want to collect every book that author has ever written. It doesn't mean that. And I'm slowly learning, we're slowly getting there, that having a lot of stuff isn't very practical. I'd rather have experiences than stuff. Another thing I got rid of was my locust tank. I wish I'd done that before we dusted though. Clearing out the sand to find all the Dubai and cockroaches in there was a pain in the bum, and I got sand everywhere, so we had to redust the shelves. There we go, dusting the shelves. Because, like I said, there was sand everywhere. I got it everywhere, all over the floor, all over the shelves, everywhere. Now this is where we got a little bit carried away doing the Halloween decorations. We were supposed to do the entire deep clean and then do the Halloween decorations. However, as you can see, we got bored deep cleaning and decided, we'll start with the decorations as well. We soon realised that was a big mistake, and we moved on very, very quickly. But hey, I also realised very quickly that we couldn't set up all the balloons and all the Halloween decorations because Baby Nova very much enjoys destroying things. She's a very creative cat. We blew this balloon up, and I think within half an hour, Baby Nova had decided, ooh, cool new toy, had gone behind the boxes that we've just put down, had crept up on her brand new balloon toy, and then swiped it with her claw. She ripped a massive hole in the bottom of the balloon, which instantly deflated, and she went running off, happy as a sandboy that her brand new toy was now deflated. I was also deflated. Thankfully, we managed to get another one. We went out very next morning and grabbed hold another balloon because I was devastated. I really wanted this balloon. And yeah, the cat destroyed it. So we now know that we can't fully decorate before the party. So what was supposed to be a Vloggoween day decorate with me is now actually going to be 2 Vloggoween days decorate with me, because we've got the decorations we can do now, and then we'll have the final trimmings for the party where we add all the extra little bits in and get ready for party day. So yeah, it will be done in 2 stages, like that balloon. I swear, the spinnies were real. I felt like I was going to pass out. I felt very dizzy and sick. I won't be making that mistake again. I'll be doing it in 2 sections. But yeah, Halloween Decorate With Me will be done over 2 sessions. So if you like a bit of a Halloween decor video, you're going to get 2. Like these cleaning videos, they were all supposed to be done for the 1st of October. But hey, now you get an instalment every day of deep cleans. Well, you might not get a deep clean every day because I've only got 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 deep cleans left to do. So you'll get 4 more deep cleans, which is good. Oh, 5 because you haven't seen the garden one yet either, I don't think. Either way, there's a few more yet to come. So you will get some more deep cleans. And I think that's better than getting them all on one day, don't you? I think so. They're not very Halloween-y, obviously, because they're deep cleans for Halloween. You got some ghosty stories coming up as well. That should be very much fun. I did film it already. It was supposed to go up. I forget what day it was meant to go up. But I have filmed the ghost stories already. However, I just see an Orby thing float through there. Go back a couple of seconds. You'll see it too. I did film it. And I really don't like how it's turned out. So I'm going to delete that, refilm it for you all, so you will be able to see that. And that should go up very soon. Look at my balloon, isn't she cool? I do love it. I'm so annoyed Baby Nova just popped it. But hey-ho, I got myself another one. And she's going to be going in that corner. We're going to get some cool little lights and all sorts of things. It's going to look really good. I cannot wait for the Halloween party. I'm actually a bit nervous. I'm very nervous. I don't throw a lot of parties. I would like to. But I don't throw a lot of parties. However, I did throw a New Year's one last year. Would have been the start of this year. I have done the birthday parties, and this will be my first Halloween party. So I'm thinking, I love all the people that are coming to this one, and I want to make it a really, really good one. But I'm going to start planning earlier. Probably I'll be starting planning straight away after this one for next year's Halloween party. So that one's going to be bigger and better. And everything takes practice and planning. So next year's Vloggoween is going to be well better than this year's Vloggoween. I'm going to do so much stuff. I'm going to really ramp it up. Like I said, I won't be doing Vlogmas. You will get some vlogs during Christmas, obviously, because it's a great fun time of the season. But it will not be Vlogmas. This is where me and Alyssa lost the will to do anything but sit on the floor and chat and just generally mess about, which we regretted because, as you saw, Alyssa used the carpet shampooer. So now we are walking around slightly damp. Our feet are also slightly damp too because obviously it doesn't dry the carpet instantly. It's a really good one and it dries quite quickly, but we're still wandering around before the carpet has dried. So yeah, we have damp feet and now damp trousers because we sat on the floor, which is stupid of us. Well, like I say, it's good in a way because we quickly realised what a stupid idea that was. And we got back up ready to get a crack on with sorting out the table that's covered in junk. We went through the books to find out what books we could dispose of and what books we were keeping, what books could be taken to our local doctor's surgery where they sell the books for like 50p a book. And we went through everything, which was a big mistake because I started flicking through to see which ones had writing in, if there were any bookmarks, because I use all sorts of bookmarks, any valuable bookmarks in there that I might want to keep, anything like that. And I started flicking through them. And then, of course, because I was flicking through them, did I get distracted by reading the odd few. For me, I'm very easily distracted. I'm very much a distractible person. I see something shiny and I'm gone. So flicking through books is a surefire way to make sure that I am not actually going to be getting any work done. I love a good book. They smell lovely. Yes, I am one of those weird people that sniff the inside of books. Don't give me a book if you don't plan on having me sniff the inside of it. I like book smells. I like the way the pages feel. I am very, very protective over my paperbacks though. People are not allowed to read or use my paperbacks because they break the spines on them. They open the book, crease the spine of the paperback book, and then I can't use it. Going to have to buy a new one. There's some of my lead child books. They have the spines gone on them, so I'll have to replace those. And some of my Rachel Kane, the Vampire Diaries, those have broken spines, so I need to replace them as well. Rachel Kane, if you're interested, great books. The Vampire, not the Vampire Diaries, Morganville Vampires. That's what she wrote, Rachel Kane, Morganville Vampires. And excellent, absolutely excellent book. It's more sort of teenage. It's written for kind of teenagers, but I very much like that easy reading kind of style. I've got lead child books. I'm a big Jack Reacher fan, huge. So I'm collecting all of those. I do have a few books missing from my set, which hopefully I should get either for Christmas or my birthday, or I'm just going to buy at some point. So I've got the complete set. I am collecting the E.L. James 50 Shades series, and I do have all of the Twilight books. I'm very much a bookworm, and I do love a series. I'm not big on the one-off books. I like to follow a character through a whole series of books. I'm not just great at reading one book. I'm not big on biographies either. I find them a bit boring and a bit tedious. But yeah, my paperback easy reading books, I love them. I love them. They give me such comfort, especially on rainy days, on days where I just want to relax and not do anything. I love sitting in silence and just reading a book. It is such a relaxing pastime, and I don't get much chance to actually sit and read in silence nowadays. I used to do it all the time. I must make time for myself to sit and just read. Just sit in the quiet and read. But yeah, like I say, I haven't done it for ages and ages. Okay, words are difficult again. We have kept all the books that we read. I say regularly, but then Christmas is regular, let's face it. So yeah, I'm going to take the risk and say we've kept all the books we read regularly. We did have a little bit of a discussion about what order to put them in and quite where to put them. And like I say, all the slightly supernaturally books have gone at the top because obviously it's Halloween and we need to keep in theme. So when people look at the bookcase, the most obvious books they're going to see are those sort of slightly supernaturally type books, you know. And some of the manifestation books, the crystal type books, spiritual type healing books, all that sort of jazz. That's all at the top of the bookcase there, ready for people to have a quick peek at. We did put the cloth over it though, because we wanted it to kind of look spooky and not bookshelfy. So having the cloth over the top just sort of stops it looking too overwhelming to the eye, but it's still obvious it's a bookshelf. And we put some candles in there as well, so it glowed lovely. We then had a little bit more of a pause and a discussion and apparently a dance session as to whether we should continue decorating or whether we would probably be better off actually carrying on with a deep clean, which is what we were supposed to be doing today. And well, that discussion went on for quite a while. Apparently, me and Alyssa are exactly like me and Del. We discuss, we do a little bit. We discuss and we do a little bit. We discuss and we do a little bit more. I would like to just sit down at the beginning of something, plan everything and then action it. But it's never going to work that way because we don't work that way. I've no idea what Alyssa's telling me now, but apparently I'm taking it all in and she's very animated in telling me. That's the Dubai cockroaches. They're now in like a plastic toy boxy thing. They can't climb very well. So I knew I didn't need a big box for them. They also don't need any substrate, so they're easier to find in that toy box. In the big fish tank they were in, they had sand they could bury themselves under. And while that's great, it means when we want to use them for the tarantulas, we can't find them. They're impossible to get hold of and find. So now they're in the toy box. They obviously can't get out because they can't climb, but they've got loads of hidey spaces, so they're still very happy. And they're in a darker environment. Now, before I had them in with the locusts, and I had them sitting at about 40 degrees, 35 to 40 degrees, somewhere in that heat range. They did have the whole tank to get from, though. That was directly underneath the heat lamp, where actually you'd often find some of them sitting. The range of the tank was like 30 to 40 degrees one end, and then sort of 20, 25 maybe at the other end. So there was a nice heat range in the tank, and they could get away from the heat if they wanted to. And they also had a UV light on them all day. Well, I say all day. Yeah, all day. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So they were the same tank as, like I said, the locusts. Now, my idea was to breed the locusts so I didn't have to keep buying them. The locusts wouldn't breed. However, the Dubai cockroaches bred like crazy. However, they shouldn't have bred like crazy because they shouldn't have substrate. They don't like a lot of heat. They don't like a lot of light. They like it sort of warm, but definitely dark. And I was like, but I've been given these like tropical heat. But then they come from Dubai. Are you telling me Dubai cockroaches, like things from Dubai, don't like heat, don't like light, don't like humidity? I don't know. I don't know whether I'm reading. I mean, I've done a lot of research. I've read a lot of articles about keeping and breeding Dubai cockroaches. And to be fair, they all say different things. So I think maybe they do prefer the light, the heat and the humidity. But realistically, I can't keep that massive tank set up just for a few doobie roaches. So I've, like I say, reduced them down. They're going to stay in there. I'll get them a little heat mat to keep them nice and warm. Although, to be fair, during the winter now, our heating sits on most of the time anyway. But to get the benefit from our air source heat pump, you set it to like 20, 21 degrees or whatever sort of temperature you want your house to sit at, and you let it run. And it just clicks on and it clicks off and it clicks on and it clicks off, and it keeps your house sitting anywhere between sort of 18 and 23 degrees because obviously there's a margin of error. It lets it drop down before it starts heating up. So there is a small margin of error, but it's never a very big one. As soon as you realise it's getting chilly, the heating's already clicked itself on and is boosting itself back up. If you wait for it to get too cold and then you try and heat your house, or do you spend a small fortune? It costs a lot to heat this house from cold. So we just leave it clicking on and off, clicking on and off, clicking on and off. And it should keep the roaches pretty happy in there and hopefully breeding away. And we can use them to give to the spiders. However, Dell will have to do that because I am not picking up doobie roaches. Apparently, they shouldn't be able to bite you. But again, like I say, I've read several different articles over whether these things can or can't bite, whether they like humidity, heat and light, or whether they don't. So honestly, I really don't know, and I really don't care. I won't be picking them up. Dell's picked them up. He's brave enough, and he says they don't bite, so he can pick them up. If I ever have to pick them up, I will be using gloves. They've got spiky little legs, even if they don't bite. They feel all sharp and pointy and yish. I might just get feeder tweezers, actually, and maybe I could just grab them with feeder tweezers and then sling them in. But you have to be really careful not to hurt them. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get Dale to do it. He's brave enough. He's brave. He's strong. Alyssa, she keeps saying to me, like, after we've done this, I hope they don't think I'm lazy. All I've done is stand around. And I'm like, yeah, but A, you're poorly, and I will let them know that. And B, you haven't just stood around. You have helped quite a lot. And we've been at work, and yeah. So please don't think she's lazy. She doesn't want you to think she's lazy. She is definitely poorly. She's getting over it. She is actually getting over it. She seems to be doing a lot better now. So she shouldn't be too sick for too long, but this day was like the top part of the cold. It was really starting to take its toll on her, and I think she managed like a couple of hours of energy, and then it was like, no, I'm done in. Wow, I am losing some weight. You don't realise until you see yourself how much you're losing. I've still got a fair whack to go, and I know I have, but I am losing loads. I could do with maybe, I don't know, some shapewear to hold everything where it should be, because obviously as I'm getting older, Like I said in one of my videos. I did say in one of my videos. Maybe it was the live. Who knows? Anyway, gravity obviously has spent many, many a year with my body, and oh God, I look like a deflated balloon sometimes. So yeah, I could do with some shapewear to make everything look all nice again. But hey, once the weights come off, then I'll invest in the shapewear. Maybe I'll, I don't know. Maybe I just won't bother. Who knows? I really don't know. And that's a problem for another day. We need to get cleaning. Seriously, cleaning. Honestly, I wish I'd have taken you into the living room. Because we couldn't find anywhere to put the stuff while we deep cleaned. So some of it stayed in here and we just moved around. Some of it got dragged into the other room. We had all the boxes out for the Halloween decorations in that room as well. We'd half been through that to try and find what we could put up before we realised we were getting distracted. So literally through that doorway is just an atrocious, awful, awful mess. I mean, it's bad. It's beyond bad. It's horrendous. We get on top of it. You'll see in the next video that we do get on top of it. And actually, I love it. Like, I don't know if I've mentioned it in this video or not. I've done so many videos and voiceovers and edits of voiceovers and all that. I forget what I'm saying. So if I repeat myself, just please forgive me. I know not what I say. Just excuse me while I rescue a stray doobie cockroach. They obviously, because they bury themselves in the sand. I did sieve all the sand to try and get them all out, but there's babies. And I didn't manage to get all the babies out. And I've just seen a couple in the bottom of the tank. So I'm like, right, come here. You need to go back into that tank. So I grabbed them. Like I say, I'm not touching them, even the tiny ones. They're about the size of woodlice. I wasn't touching them. So I grabbed them out with a bit of paper and popped them in the box with their mummies and daddies cockroaches. I don't know. Do Dubai cockroaches breed in pairs like that? Or are they like hermaphrodites? They breed on their own kind of thing. I don't know if there's mummy and daddy cockroaches. I'll have to look into that. Although I'm not even sure I'm that bothered. But either way, I put the babies back with the grown-ups. So they're quite happy and safe now. And I managed to do it without any escaping. I'm quite proud of myself. We did, however, find a stray spider that had somehow managed to get itself in the tank with everybody else. Why? How? I don't know. We did use ChatGPT to try and identify it to make sure it wasn't one that had come in with the sand or something. It hadn't. It was just a house spider. So that got relocated. It relocated itself, actually. We didn't even realise it escaped out of the tank until well after we tried to move the tank. Alyssa's like, I'm not touching it. If that spider gets on me, I'll drop it. So I had to drag it around the house all by myself, waiting for this spider to lurch out of nowhere. Still don't know where it went to this day. I have no idea where it disappeared off to, but I hope it's safe and I hope it's happy, trundling around our house, picking up little flies and, well, other bugs. I don't know what else spiders really eat. Which is quite alarming, actually, because I own two. I used to own a lot more than two. But you'd think, wouldn't you? Owning two tarantulas, I'd kind of be a little more clued in as to spider diets, but hey. They're my pet spiders. They eat things that are a lot bigger than the ones that just wander around the house. So yeah, I think flies are the only things that the spiders eat, but Dell says anything that moves, really. Which is probably why I sit there and do nothing. I don't want to be eaten by a spooder. So I sit around doing nothing, because they'll eat anything that moves, evidently. Alyssa was asking what to do with the spider webs, because a spider web has a spider living in it and a cobweb doesn't. So she's like, what do I do about the spider webs? Because obviously they have a resident spider in there, and I'm not destroying a resident spider's home, nor am I going to cast them out in the cold. They've come into the home so they can stay warm for winter, and I don't blame them for that. So I said to Alyssa, well, it's Halloween, there's Halloween decorations going up, nobody minds an extra bit of spider web in their Halloween decorations, so just leave the spider webs and dust down the cobwebs. So she's got rid of all the cobwebs, but the spider webs are staying, and I am proud of that. I will not evict a spider. I also found out recently that house spiders are house spiders for a reason. If you put a house spider outside, it may well not make it. So I now don't put spiders really outside unless they're like not house spiders. But To be fair, I kind of do like to try and keep the spiders in the house as best I can. They get rid of bugs, and then for the most part, they're pretty much harmless, so why not keep them? They're not doing anything wrong, and I'm not particularly scared of them. Yet, sure, if one suddenly decides to abseil off the ceiling onto my head, it's going to take me by surprise, and it probably will be yeeted across the room at great speed, and then I will feel guilty and go and apologise to the poor little thing. But I am not particularly scared of them. Like I say, only if they make me jump and decide to abseil down onto my head. I have had one abseil down onto my back before. It was in the summer. I was wearing my little sleeveless top, and one decided it was going to parasail down onto my back, and oh good grief did I yelp. I swear, it was horrendous. It proper took me by surprise. I felt it tickle and I screeched. So Alyssa is going to get... Yeah, look, we're changing subject again. Just keep up with me. Alyssa is loving hoovering the floor and then using the carpet shampooer to get the muck up off the floor. She got loads of hair up as well. But this is your final look round. Does it not look much neater and tidier? I will be getting a shoe rack for the shoes and all sorts of things when we redecorate this room. But does it not look cleaner and tidier? I love the placement of the table and I can't wait to decorate this room for Halloween. It looks so much better. We already did, we started a little bit, but we managed to stay focused. So that is another room down. Dale's just arrived home from work and we are ready to get on to the next room in the deep clean. Happy Halloween, guys.